Can we all take a moment to be grateful that we don't live in these societies portrayed in these dystopian novels we've been reading lately? Think about what you'd have to live without. Twitter, Tumblr. You wouldn't have Tumblr. I can't even imagine somebody trying to take away Tumblr from the nerd world. The minute it was snapped off, you would hear it all over the world. You would hear it right outside your window. One unified cry. No! No, my life is meaningless! Because I'm feeling lazy and I didn't want to come up with a 30-second summary myself, I'm turning to Amazon for help. Thank you in advance, Amazon. What was once the western United States is now home to the Republic, a nation perpetually at war with its neighbors. Born into an elite family in one of the Republic's wealthiest districts, 15-year-old June is a prodigy being groomed for success in the Republic's highest military circles. Born into the slums, 15-year-old Day is the country's most wanted criminal, but his motives may not be as malicious as they seem. From very different worlds, June and Day have no reason to cross paths until the day June's brother is murdered, and Day becomes prime suspect. Caught in the ultimate game of cat and mouse, Day is in the race for his family's survival while June seeks revenge for Matthias's death. But in a shocking turn of events, the two uncover the truth of what has really brought them together and the sinister lengths their country will go to keep its secrets. Yeah, I may have ended that just a little dramatically there. I'm not apologizing. I gotta be real honest. Throughout the first 10 pages of reading this book, I was just like, oh no! No! Here we go, a copy of The Hunger Games, it's starting. I already had to deal with this when Twilight became popular and the shelves of Barnes & Noble became a yay for vampires fest. I don't know, it's just within the first few pages I thought, no, I hate it when authors do this. I could come up with an original idea, but since this book is so popular, maybe I'll make a book just like it. No. But I was very, very pleased to get farther into it and realize it's nothing like any dystopian novel I've ever read. That being said, just getting this out there, I loved this book. And I was skeptical of it before I even started reading it, because it's one of those books that came with a movie deal. So there's already a movie, and another book is going to come out, even though the book's only been out for a few weeks. Kind of like I Am Number 4. I'm usually really cautious when it comes to these books, because they're usually just a mixture of everything the average teenager from the ages 14 to 19 want to read. It's basically the author thinking to themselves, alright, what do the young kids like these days? Let's just put it in order to reel in younger audiences and make lots of money. And the result is this cold, lifeless book filled with random bits of other popular things that 14 to 19-year-olds like. Not so for Marie Lu. You can tell she put a lot of heart and hard work into this. So to all of you who haven't read it yet for the reasons I just said, read it. I promise you it's worth it. Because it's been proven in the past that not all of these clumped deals of books and second books and movies are just these cold, lifeless things that people put on a shelf to make money. One of the best things about Legend is the characters. The more I read, the more I really loved June. Unlike other characters I've read about, she doesn't start out as a kind of quiet, timid, oh, what do I do? You know, pitiful flower of a girl, and then later turn into a fighter. June starts out as a hardcore, I will kick your teeth in if you mess with me, and I am well trained, I will do what I want, when I want, fighter. And then transforms into kind of a gentler person towards the end, which is always an interesting sort of character development to see, because we don't see it that often. Now, the best part about Day is that he seems malicious, he seems to have no heart, he seems to be this evil creature to everyone but the reader. We know, we get that inside scoop. And you sympathize for him because it's kind of sad that he's been turned into such a villain by all these people in his world when in reality, he's just trying to protect the people he loves. Day is literally a kid trying to make his own, trying to protect his family, doing all these good things, and getting so much heck for it. Every single supporting character shown, no matter the length of how long they were in the book. Even if they appeared for 5 minutes, they were branded in your head forever. That's something that's really hard to do as a writer. So once again, we're gonna applaud Marie Lu. An amazing amount of character development in such a short time. It's not a short book, but holy cow, so much happens. I feel like Legend takes all the parts from different sorts of dystopian novels, parts that I usually am not a big fan of, and improved them by a million. I think I've read maybe 2 books in my life where there was like a plague or a sickness where I was like, oh, this is interesting. Zombie books these days, boy vey, I just don't, no, they don't cut it for me. Because they're all the same. A bunch of ragtag kids fighting against some sort of virus that turns people into mushy mind. Bleh. But that's not the point. Legend had everything. The giant, scary, controlling government, the plague, the rise of rebellion, the misery of loss, everything. Everything that makes a dystopian novel good. Now let's branch off and talk about the romance a little bit. I don't think I've ever seen a romance quite like Day and June's. It doesn't work the way it usually works in other YA novels. Because the deceit it's built off of isn't the sort of deceit that we're used to seeing. June is literally undercover. And it's kind of a really sad romance because Day just needs somebody. It's come to that. It's come to the point where he just needs somebody. Even though he thinks that all he needs is himself and his little friend. And I am especially excited to see where this romance goes because the ending was very, open to let obsessive readers fret and worry about what the heck might happen next. I am hoping with every cell in my body that Marie Lu doesn't do what all the other authors like to do. Okay, so second book's coming around. Gotta start with something unexpected or something, sad. Oh, big fight. No, breakup. Now, what to name the third point of the love triangle? Don't do that. Please, please don't let that happen. As much as I love their romance, I am so much more interested on what happens to the Republic than, the kisses and the fights. I mean, I love their romance, but please, just don't, please. Anyways, this book was an awesome start to what I'm sure is going to be an awesome series. Had no problem with the writing style. It's beautiful, like beautifully written, but not so poetic that you're like, oh gosh. Seriously? Yeah, mountains are mountains are gorgeous, now what? The characters were well developed and they're so easy to sympathize for, which is what readers like to do. No reader wants to feel detached from a character, because then the reading experience is, well, no fun. P.S. My sister's reading the book. She comes into my room and she's like, "You didn't warn me, it's so sad!" It is kind of depressing, isn't it? And she just goes, "Everyone dies!" Oh yeah, they kind of do, don't they? Yeah, it is kind of sad, so warning. This is kind of a sad book. I would like to personally congratulate you, Marie Lu. This is a great book, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. No pros and cons this time, guys. There's really no cons. It was really a great book, and I recommend it to everyone. Also, hey, between you and me, am I saying her brother's name right? In my head I said Matthias. Matthias? It's Matthias, right? Matthias. No. Me-type. No. I'm just gonna stick with Matthias. That sounds right. So subscribe, comment, thumbs up if you made out with a hot guy undercover, thumbs down if... Ooh. You didn't.